Hello and welcome to Live Coding with Gerph again. If you haven't seen these before, we're looking at a ARM disassembler that's being built for RISC OS. It's a ongoing project. We're at now week 13 that we've been doing this. It's taken a little while, but that's fine. A lot of this has been just tailoring things. We've had it working quite well so far. It's almost certainly ready to go. So yeah, we're just finishing off some bits that we need to add to it. At the moment, we are missing an ARC64 disassembler in it. It only disassembles 32 bits, the ARM and thumb code. So that's going to be today's work. So we have some code. It's in this Gerph DARM repository. DARM is the project I forked to make this, so we're quite a way ahead of it. We're 82 commits ahead. We've done quite a bit of work here. We've got a project board here that shows us what we're trying to do. So today we're going to be doing ARC64 disassembly. That's going to be the challenge for today. I think it's going to be interesting, but we do have some choices with it. In my notes, and I'm going to have to pull a tab up here because apparently for some reason my Chrome isn't actually viewing this. Ideas for a debugger I've got here. So just pop the size that up. I've done the DARM disassembler for the 32-bit ARM code, but I've got two suggestions I've made here for myself. Armadillo, which is a BSD licensed disassembler, and UDisasm, which is a MIT licensed disassembler. So those are my current choices. I have looked around for others. There are others. Many of them are GPL based, so they're not suitable. And others, I've come across one or two that were very limited in their functions, and one that just didn't have any license on at all, so I was avoiding that. So let's have a look at these. So we just copy those and put them into the browser that I'm using for my presentations here. So we've got Armadillo, and what was the other one? UDisasm. There we go, copy link. And paste that one as well. Right, so UDisasm looks like it's got ARC64, it's got some decoding tables, and it has some library code to be able to decode it, which is fair enough. We've also got a label here that says it's GNU GPL v3. So when I have a look in this, it says the Universal Disassembler Function Library is licensed under the MIT terms, but text-to-H PHP converter script, as well as the instruction table, are under GPL. So that's sort of leaving me a little bit muddied on what the actual terms are there. Whether the things that we've generated from those tables, I'm not clear on whether that's actually going to be a problem or not. So the tables it's talking about would be these, I guess. So this table says that it's GPL. So if it's GPL, then what are the results of that? Because yeah, it's a derived thing then. I mean, this looks like quite the right way of doing it. Sort of similar to how it was done in the DARM decompiler, disassembler rather. It's actually using all of the bit data from the main tables that are in the ARM. So that's definitely something that I've got a concern about using UDisasm. And consequently, I'm probably going to say I won't use that one. It doesn't really say very much. I mean, I'm just a little bit concerned about that. It's just because of that GPL side of things, which I hope you can understand is a concern. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at the other one. So this is Armadillo, which is a yeah, it's explicitly an ARM64 ARMv8 disassembler. All the way up to ARM 8.5, that's pretty good. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like it can disassemble things and it can decode immediate values. So that's the other bit we're going to want for being able to print things out. Yeah, that looks pretty reasonable to me. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm thinking this is the one we're going to use. Let's have a quick look at the source, shall we? Okay, so a number of different types of operations, which you understand, and then instruction decoder, some utils. Okay, let's go with it then, shall we? It doesn't look like it's been generated from tables. No, it looks like it's actually a manual construction, this, which is a little bit more frustrating, but it does seem to have some descriptive things there. So I don't know. Let's have a see what we get out of it and see whether it's useful. They look fun. That's a very fun table there. Yeah, okay, well, let's have a see where we get to. And oh yeah, I love the instruction names on these. Some of them are just funky. All right, anyway, let us see what we can do. Sorry, Taylor has just reminded me that it's a good idea to explain why the GPL is not a good idea. MIT license, BSD license, those both say that you can use the source code in pretty much any way. So if we have a look at the MIT license here, or is it BSD license? BSD license, here you go. So redistribution and use in source and binary form is permitted, provided we do these things. Must retain the above copyright notice, must reproduce the above copyright notice and conditions in all documentation. Fair enough. And must not use the name of the copyright holder or the contributors to endorse or promote the products. So we can't say, oh, this is good because it's using Jay Sherman's disassembler, Armadillo. But we can use it. So that is a very good license. MIT license is very similar. If we pop back to BZT here and we look at its license here, so it's got MIT license up at the top. It says, granted free of charge to any person to obtain a copy of the software and documentation to deal with the software without restriction, without limitation of right to use, copy, modify, merge, publish, distribute, sublicense, or sell copies. So basically anything you want, so long as you don't do anything, you've subject to the following conditions. You must keep the copyright notice and the permission notice in it. That's your lot, which is again very nice. GPL, however, is long and wordy and frustrating. Specifically, it says if you use the GPL, in general it says, if you use the GPL, everything you link with it must also be GPL. And that becomes problematic because basically when you're using a debugger, you are linking your application, whether it be Zap, editor, or whatever, with the disassembler. It becomes a linked item. There's been a number of discussions over the years about whether the SWI interface used by RISC OS is a linking. And there's actually no question in my mind that this is a linking. And the reason that it is a linking is because you are calling into a library to do something. The fact that you happen to go through an operating system interface rather than a user mode interface is irrelevant to the matter. That's just what you're doing. Otherwise, you would be able to create any old library you liked in GPL, put it into a module and use the SWI interface, and you'd be isolated. And that is against both the terminology of the public license, GPL, and it's against the spirit of it as well. So that seems pretty logical to me. I have, however, checked this with EFF, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, and asked their team of volunteer legal people what that situation is. And they said, yeah, we don't consider this any different than other types of linking. It is just another way of linking code. The fact that it's going through an operating system interface is irrelevant to the matter. So that's why we are I am avoiding the GPL. Basically, you can't use GPL code in RISC OS for either an application or a module, because if it was an application, you'd be linking with your modules, and the modules would then become part of that GPL covered code. It is all very, very frustrating, to be honest, but that's the GPL for you. So if you come across a GPL application and it's linking against a set of modules, you can go and request the source code to those components, just as you would with anything else. And the same goes with the module. If you've got a GPL module, you can't go and link against that. And I'm certain I've made a mistake in the past on that myself. I know that there are other cases where mistakes have been made on that. Right, so with that in mind, I had decided to go with Armadillo. Armadillo. I have a feeling that was a UK advert for something. Crunchy on the outside, squidgy on the inside. Sorry, random recollections there. Yeah, that's gonna irritate me now. Let's move on before it gets earwormed in my head. Not earwormed, you know what I mean. Okay, Armadillo. See, on here we have a nice, easy explanation of what it means. So we can use it in commercial things, we can modify it, we can distribute it, we can use it for private use. We don't have any liability from the author, and we don't have any warranty from the author. All we have to do is just keep the license and copyright present, which is all cool. So here we go. Let's go do the branching and all the not branching, cloning and everything. So in order to make this, we're going to have to create a new repository. So let's move out of DARM. So I've got a lot of ports of things. I had more than that. I thought I had more than that. Maybe I don't. I've got a few things, but DARM is one of them. And we want to clone Armadillo. So let's go and get the URL. Here we are. No, I want to fork it, don't I? I want to fork it first so I can then do things with it. So let's get a fork. Whee! Ooh, excuse me. Armadillo is available. Well, here we go. ARM disassembler for use with RISC OS. Copy the master branch only. Yeah, that sounds fine. Create a fork in your personal account. Yes, that's right. And it will be public because it was public. When you create a fork of a public repository, it's always public and you can't make it private. So here we are. Right, let's grab the address of that, git clone that. Bum, bum, bum. Armadillo. This is going to annoy me, isn't it? Okay, so what we have here is a single example file, some source, and a make file. So let's have a look at the make file, see if there's anything special in it. Source files, object files, yeah, driver 85, okay. Worried about that. Don't think there's a driver 85 source, is there? And a linked list. Looks like it's probably from elsewhere. Right, so he's got some ARM test gen. Don't think I saw ARM test gen. Yeah, there isn't any in that source. No, there isn't. Apparently, Talia's just told me it's Dime Bar. That's
Harry Enfield.
Harry Enfield. Oh wow. This won't mean anything to people who are outside the UK, I don't think. But see, at least I now know.
I've looked up the video.
I'm calm. I can do this. I'm with it. It's okay. All right. Yeah. Right. what I was going to do was I'm going to try building it and see what happens. Let's have a see. I'm just dying of laughing. I've got drink, it's fine. Look at that, we have some code there. Let's go and see if we can make the example as well. Symbols not found for architecture. Oh dear, disassemble. That looks like it didn't actually link against the Armadillo library. So we're going to have to just make sure it links against it, I suppose. I wonder why it didn't do that. Dynamic library, example. Oh, because our example isn't actually a target. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? They do include some text in here that says what the how to link it. So let's just have a quick look down here. Make C flags. I don't care about that. Does it say? Yeah, so they've been targeting iOS, and presumably that's why in this file it's libarmadillo.dylib rather than .so. I did think it a little bit odd that it was referencing Mac style things, but that's not too significant. Here we go. This is the example for building the example. I'll actually just quickly add this in here. Here we go. So example is based on armadillo and example.o. No, not example.o, example.c. There we go. Oh, I think that's going to fail because I think I've put spaces in there. Let's bring up an editor for this entire project. Right, make sure it has tabs in it. Actually, it shouldn't be clang though, it should be $cc. I mean, it's not likely that this is going to matter anyway, but we'll at least make it work. So, make example, sorry. Run example. Okay, look at that. It does actually work, which is always useful. We do like the fact that things work. So we now need to make this work on RISC OS. So first thing to do will be to, what am I going to do? What did I do first time? Let's pull up a new terminal and have a look at DARM. What did I do in DARM? I think, because my usual thing I think is to create a RISC OS directory. Yeah, a RISC OS directory, and then inside RISC OS we actually have symlinks to all of the parent files. Yeah, so if you look in RISC OS C there, I've got a lot of symlinks back to the original files. Okay, so we'll do the same thing, and that'll make us similar in style to this. Alrighty, back to the Armadillo sources. So obviously for RISC OS we have to make things a little bit different because we have different file name conventions and the like. Not the end of the world, but we keep C files in a CDIR, we create the H files in a HDIR, and for all of the files in parent directory that have got C in them, echo, just check that I'm actually getting the right files here. Why is that wrong? What did I do there? //c. In. Yeah, you have to write that syntax. Right, so there's a C file, that's good. So let's link that. Link, symbolic link, targeting that file, and put it into the C directory with base name, losing the .c from the end of it. I'm using fish as my shell here, so this is slightly different syntax to the to what you'd expect if you were using bash. I'll just a little bit less that, just check if it's actually there. That means I've got it wrong. That means I forgot about the extra dot dot because it's in a C directory. Oh, go away. Force. Okay, now try blessing that file. There we are. Excellent. Good. So that done, I now need to link all of the other files which are in the source directory, source/star.c. And they need to go into dot 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 dot. Oh, maybe that's just right. Maybe that's just right. Let's have a C. Less C slash instruction. Okay, files there. Good. That's what we want to know. And then we want to link all the H files into the H directory. All the H files into the H directory. Going over the H files. Ta-da. Right. So that's what we've got now. A C and a H file. So let's get a project. Not create Git. Create. I want to create a. No, I don't want to create a module just yet. I want to create the library. C library. clib. I can't remember what the syntax is. Help. Lib. It's just lib. Name is armadillo. I can't help saying it that way. I'm very sorry. You'll just have to put up with me, I'm afraid. Yeah, there we go. So we'll make armadillo. We'll put a skeleton. Do I put a skeleton in here? No, just put armadillo there. Right, so I'll just create me the make file. If I have a look at that, we should be able to populate that make file with things. And the things we can populate it with. Every now and then, I don't get refreshes in the folders, and I have to do it manually. I think that's because I've got a lot of Sublime Text windows open. So Sandesh has asked, I thought you could use $bracket these days. Yeah, so the slightly different syntax here for this is fish doesn't actually need the dollar in there. Just for reasons I don't know why, but maybe Fish has now got that. Maybe Fish has got that. Echo $bracket base name. No, it's not. It's not syntax highlighting as right. Foo.c as .c. No, I mean it's entirely possible that I've got a very old version of Fish. 3.1. I think that's like 2 years old, maybe 3 years old. That I should upgrade because I've seen there's a lot of nicer things in Fish. They've started to make it more POSIX-y, so that means it should be able to work more like that. But anyway, slight digression there. My intent here was to pinch all of this lot and say, actually, all of this lot here, and put it into makefile for RISC OS. Oh. All right, it's already done that. The only thing I don't need is the example. My project generator has generated a project. I probably need to work out what exports I need, but I actually don't know. Did it say what exports I need to have here? No, but if I have a look in the example source file, yeah, armadillo.h and struext.h. What struext is? Let's have a look. Simple concatenation. I'll add those. Yeah, we'll make it export those. So we've got h.armadillo and also struext. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. And then we need to actually put it in here as well. The lack of decent patterning in AMU is quite frustrating at times, but I could extend it, but I haven't had the inclination. It's possible that more recent ones from Rule have got those features, but I don't have them in mine. Anyway, let us give this a whirl. So RISC OS ammo, build it. Okay, well that was less good. Let's have a see what we've got here. So the easiest way for me to do this is, since we've got this as our only project, let's see what we can do here. See if we can build it with the built-in tooling. Don't know how to make source.o.outils. Oh, it's tried to build it with this one. I don't want to build it with this one. I want to build it with this one. It's tried using ammo to build that. I've just got parts of my build wrong. I'm going to temporarily just rename this and see if it makes it work. So this is makefile POSIX. I'll call it POSIX just for now, and see what we get out of it. Okay, let's try building again. Build finished. Okay, try building for RISC OS, please. That's better. Right, now, what do we get? Serious error. Expression expected but found int. So this is the I'm not a C89 compiler. We had a bunch of that last time. That's fine. I'll just have to update a whole load of this. So it looks like there's going to be quite a few of them. Line 33. Yeah, here we go. In fact, let's just search for 4 bracket int. Oops, no, that's their style. All right. This is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. I have got changes for the C compiler that would do this, but I've been very wary of adding them because I'm not very good with updating the compiler. Build, please. There we are. More similar sorts of problems here. This is a... it's fine. I'm just going to be irritated by this, but that's not a big deal. Bum, bum, bum. So, more specifically, the C89 compilers and tools allow you to declare variables anywhere. And that means that you can just put them in any position in the file, which is good for many things, but it does mean that you've got your declarations all dotted all over the place, which I actually don't like, partly because I grew up with older compilers. It definitely has improvements for productivity though, because you don't have to keep jumping around the place. Build. Right, find me the first error. That is a unused declaration message, so let's just do that. That should tidy that one up. Okay, Tom, we're up to levels. Implicit narrowing cast. Oh, did I convert that wrongly? Show diff. No, it was an int. It's just a warning, and it was a warning that was there before. Can we hide that diff, please? Oh, I did. Oh. Yeah, here we go. Other warnings. Serious error. Yeah, again, this is a C90. We're just going to have a lot of these, I think. So source len is that. There. This is going to become somewhat tedious, I feel. Sorry about that, but that's just the way it goes with this, I'm afraid. Oh, there's lots of them here, isn't there? This one. Maybe I sometimes go and write a turn it back to C89 DOM conversion tool, because that actually wouldn't be too hard, I don't think. done many of these things. Excuse me. Build again. Undeclared name. Oh, that's because I typoed Dustlin. Inventing VA copy. Yeah, we don't have VA copy in this version. Back up the args before it gets used. Clients call VA end on the parameter themselves when calling VA concat. I happen to know that this is entirely safe since the args is just a pointer and there's nothing to destroy. So I'm going to just if ndef RISC OS out on this one, just for now, because it won't matter. And I know that VSN printf exists, even though it says it doesn't. Yeah, all right, let's build that and see if we've got any other errors. W. Memory leak. It's declaring it as a memory leak there, but almost certainly that's because the intent of this is that it returns a reallocated pointer. Interestingly, that means that that one could actually reallocate, failing with this one if the realloc fails. Yeah, there's no malloc checks on any of this. This is going to make me worry, isn't it? No, I won't put any annotations in. I'll just let it go for now, and we'll have to come back to that. This might mean this library is much more dangerous than we had thought, but yeah, we'll learn stuff. All right, warning there. Yeah, there's a superfluous comma at the end of this because the compiler I'm using doesn't support it, which is always good. Inline isn't supported here, so let us get rid of inline. This is a header. Oh, that's good. If ndef, if defined underscore RISC OS, have to define inline not supported in Norcroft old version. There we go. If defined RISC OS and not defined RISC OS 64, because it will be supported in GCC. All right, build again. More problems. Illegal in static integral type initializer, non-constant, AD none. Actually, why is AD none not a constant? Why does it think it's not a constant? Let's have a look for that, shall we? Is it in common? Because all the others it didn't complain about, but it did complain about AD none. I've lost where I am. Common? Has that got AD none in it? No, it's probably an armadillo then. No, ADEFs. AD none. That's not going to work because it's not there. If ndef RISC OS, actually probably will work on. I'll do it. Defined RISC OS and not define RISC OS 64. Define AD none to be -1. There we go. I mean, I could have done that for both of them, but I'll try and keep the code as close to original intent as possible. lots more problems there. Command expected but found. Oh, again, here we go. Oh, this is fun, isn't it? Interesting. Do the others well from here. Int instra ID, and that's the only other one there, isn't it? Okay. Build. Oh, missed some more here. That's actually just declaring them, so I can pull them up here. Build again. Getting better. There's one as well, but that's inside the braces here, so we can just move it up a little bit. Const char star RISC. Oh, I'm boring people to death here, I'm sure, but this is what I do. Well, not that I bore people, you know what I mean. Duplicate definition of I. What was my for loop called? Was my for loop not called I in this? For I. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, because that's not going to be very good, is it? We'll use O then instead. O. Yeah, there we go. There's another declaration here. I've missed this one. Okay, let's just put that one in there. Last RT underscore X. And this one as well. RN underscore S. Put this up and this one. Put them both way up here. Build. Another one there. How big's this file? Oh my gosh, I might be doing this for a while. You know, I'm going to quickly skim down these and see what we're up to. This one, yeah. The whole thing can go up here. Again, the whole thing can go up there. There's a lot of things here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and just quickly indent all of this. I'll make some diffs a little bit more difficult, but since it's all the way down this, how far do I need to go? Probably right the way to the end of the file, down at the end of the function, don't I? Ooh, long function. Just indent a lot. And that should simplify some of those. Let's see what happens. Yeah. That one's okay. Another one there. RM. Hi, Ellen. Oh, and some more here. Rims. What's that used as? That should be a static const, I think, since it looks like it's not modified. I wonder if I could turn it into a static const. Static const, and then move it up there as well. There's no point for it to be initialized on every entry into this function. Move it up to here. Oh, we've got another I here. Hopefully, this, yeah, the instruction's called I again. O, so I'll change that to an O variable. Ooh, I think I probably messed up before. I probably didn't change some of them, did I? I'm going to have to recompile this and see whether I actually changed the right variables. O, still inside the loop, still inside the loop. There, that's where the loop ends. Right, let's oh, that one there as well needs to be moved. RI_S, move that to here. Okay, let's do a build and see where we're up to. Oh, I still didn't remove the int in there. Aha, this is looking better. Yep. Last RT_S. Again, we move that up to the declarations here. _S. Up to here. Okay, let's just do a quick build and see where we're at. Okay, so I've actually got like about a quarter of the way through the file. No, about an eighth. Enemy wanting to kill me yet? I'm definitely feeling that way. Right. Right. Int instra ID const char star rn_s const char star. It looks like these are quite common because, well, the terminology is quite consistent in the specification. That's why they seem to have taken these from, which is good. Yeah, just build that and get those messages out of the way. Variable signed _ declared but not used. Don't care. In fact, actually, if it is declared but not used, it's going to annoy me. Signed _ Interesting. Okay, I'm going to leave that as that's obviously the different ways of doing it, and it hasn't actually got that. Not going to worry. Right. Again, here we've got some more of these. So unsigned encoding, int instra ID. Oops. Right, that's got int RSZ, R size, I'm assuming. Yep, register size. So these are operations on different registers. Oh, look at this. This is actually a row of 4 of them. Oh, 4 4 there. Let's grab those ones. Put them all here. And then do them all at once. There we are. Which also means I can strip out the type declarations here. RNS. Similar one here. Copy, paste tabs. Nope, that's there. This here. I'm really thinking a tool to do this would help me in the future. It's actually not that often that I actually have to do this when I'm converting stuff, but alternatively I could just update the compiler, but my compiler skills are not wonderful. Alright, this looks like I'm going to have to build it now because we're hitting into things I think I fixed, but I'm not sure. That looks like it's probably a static struct, a static variable as well. Let's build and see what happens. Yep, still getting errors on that. Warning, this one. Missed one. Instruct.s. And I'm only in the first file. There's another one. Suffix. So I haven't mentioned it, but Dave says there's a C89 to 89 tool kicking around. People want to pump 99 code into MSVC. I think it's very old now, though. Oh, that'd be interesting. I might have a look at that later. That might be quite fun to have a go with. In fact, I might even, if it's a decent tool, it might be able to be used as a part of the build environment as well. I will go and hunt that down at some point. What I was going to say was, right, so what I've got configured, I'm doing these builds and putting them into a terminal here. So I've got it set up on Sublime Text so that when I press Command B, Windows B, I suppose, for other people, it will build using RISC OS ammo, and then it captures this section of text here and goes, that's that file, and puts it into here. The code is actually quite the configuration is quite small, and it just makes sure that I get these outputs being identified, and then we get these little inline comments that tell me where the problems are. I don't actually have to go back to the terminal, which speeds things up a bit. I suppose if I was clever these days, I'd get a AI to actually come along and go, oh, make this all C89 again, and so then you'd spend the next week fixing the AI's output. I'm maybe a little bit cynical about quality of AI code. That said, I actually put together one of the, what was it I did recently? Oh, I can't remember. I asked for an implementation of something, and it produced me in RISC OS, a RISC OS implementation of something, and it gave me something that wasn't correct, but was pretty close, and I just tweaked it very slightly, and it was working. The problem is that you feed this request into AI, and then you've got no idea whether it's actually correct code because you didn't know what you were doing in the first place. You have to, if you knew what you were doing, then you could have done it yourself, and that's the time when it really helps. I feel is I could have done it myself, but it's just faster if you put it together for me. Ooh, that's a double star. What was it? RT R table. Right. Okay. No, don't do that. RT RTL. It's always fun having double stars in things, pointers to pointers. I might have typoed that actually. It's SZ, not RZ. However, I do get confused with these little annotations because I step over them without realising. It's quite frustrating actually. RT equals RT1 equals RT. I'm copying that apparently. Okay. These two can be RT1 underscore RTBL, and this one is RT1 underscore Z. These two together. I could have done the brace thing again and indented this, couldn't I? That might have been a more sensible choice here, but yeah, no matter. Yeah, that and that together. So whilst this looks like it was written by hand, it does seem to be quite consistent in the naming of variables and things. Oh, look, a whole load more of these. Oh, dear me. Right. 1, 2, 3. Copy that. Semicolon. Paste that. Oops, no. Cut those lines. Now put them up here. Oh, I think this is going to go wrong, isn't it? It's going to paste them in a weird way. Yeah, that did not paste right. Alright, let's undo that and just move them together. Sometimes the multi-line editing is a little confusing. I'm sure that made sense, but I didn't understand why it did it that way. I imagine it probably pasted each of the pastes into each of the lines that it was trying to edit, and so we end up with lots of them. Right, okay. Build again and see what happens. See whether I've made a mess of that. Oh, we're into a new function. Wonderful. I get to do it all over again. Yeah, that whole thing may as well go up there, mightn't it? In fact, this one might as well go up there as well. No reason not to. This one can't. Build. I can get a little bit more space out since I'm not looking at this. I can have some more space to view. Race up here we can stick that against. Probably the same thing here, isn't it? Yeah. In fact, that's exactly the same thing. So let's paste just that and cut this out. Yeah, I could have signed RTS at the top and then we only have one declaration. I could have done. Oops, no, that's not the right place. That's the right place. Yeah, there's another function done. Excellent. These look like actual constants and don't depend on anything else, so they're safe to move up together. This one does, so I'm going to have to do that. Oh look, RT_S. How familiar you are. I was wondering when I started doing this whether I should just like copy a bunch of the common variables to the top of file, the functions, and then let it tell me when I've not used them. Now all of these actually can move above that because they're all constant, so that's quite a bit easier doing it that way round instead. Let's give us that, see what happens. Okay, another function done. Nearly halfway. These are all constants. Pick them all up. Okay, that can go up there as well. Oh, now I'm going to go and do a build, I think, because it's getting noisy. Oh, there's an unsigned there. There we go, unsigned opco. Opco, that's another function done. Right, all of these are, all of those, but this isn't. RTS needs, yeah, RTS. How we loved you. Build. Am I regretting not using the other library? Maybe. IDX, yeah. That is a constant. Build it to see whether which bits we've got problems. There's an RNS there and an instrus. There's instrus. And might as well just declare RNS at the same time. Oh. My fingers are not going the right way now. RNS. And you can pick up both of them and move them to the top. Okay, build. Alan says, I recall you had to do this in your initial port of Debugger tool as well. Yes, that was, I do remember having to do that. And I don't remember it being quite this involved. I remember it being a little bit easier. Maybe that's just having fond memories of things you want to block out otherwise. Declared but not used, I don't care. Well, it might indicate a real problem. Another function done. Lower precision, I don't mind. Oh, okay, so we've got a little bit here. Use alias. See, they've used the functions of C89 in having declarations anywhere, but they could have used a bool there, for example, and made that a bit more what's it called? Semantically accurate. Oh, I like that. That was a good function that had nothing else in it. Constant. That's good. Oh. Okay, so these three here, I can do copy, return, paste, and then move the three together. Oops, nope, there. Together. And this is a constant, so I can move it up here as well. I can put in the int use, ooh, and then my fingers were one off. Use alias here, and then int instra ID. Actually, that's a constant, so I can get rid of it entirely, can't I? Okay. Use alias. They've actually been very good at. So Alan said, I don't think I've seen as many consts in one file. They seem to have been pretty good at applying the consts to this, which is quite nice. It does improve the safety of things when you know you can't be writing to a particular variable. Implicit narrowing cast. Nothing there. Here we go again. This is another function, isn't it? We're into another function, and we're down to the last, third maybe? Constant. Another constant. Actually, all this is, that's a constant, and that's a constant. Ooh, excellent. Makes things easier to move around. Build that. I probably didn't notice that these were constants in the earlier thing. There we go, another set. Oh, they're not constants. Oh. Right, well, I'll do the same trick I did before. Semicolon, copy that. Ooh, no, don't cut it, copy it. Paste. Now move the bits together. The author of this says, I'm not looking for contributions. I suspect they would probably not want to take these anyway. I mean, it's handy to make things for an old C89 compiler, but even still, it's not a whole lot of fun. That's a constant. Yeah. Let's move that up. I hope you can't hear the sirens going by. And lots of ambulances. I'm assuming it's ambulances. And I think they're getting closer. Oh no, they just stopped. I'm living quite close to the hospital in Cambridge, so down our road there's a load of ambulances going every now and then. Okay, and I'm going to build that because I've not built it in a while. See whether it's working okay. Oh gosh, we've been going an hour. Oh. I was saying, oh, I'll be able to knock this out in maybe one session. It'll be easy. Blooming fool. I do make life difficult for myself because I'm using an older compiler, but then, yeah, I don't have the sources or the ability to build the other ones. So I suppose I could actually switch over to using GCC. I believe it's all quite functional now. I just haven't. I've never really spent the time with GCC except for the 64-bit work on RISC OS. That is, I use it obviously a lot of the time elsewhere. Okay, let's just go build that. I think looking okay. Ooh, ooh, and we're dead again. Right, move this to here. And these two are the same, aren't they? Yeah. No, I didn't mean that. I meant that. Copy, semicolon. That's up there. Oh, constants. Oh, didn't mean to go to the top of the file. Okay, let's take all these up to the top. There, build. Declared but not used. Interesting. And lots of things declared but not used. Okay, so maybe I've converted something wrong then. That's worrying. I can check that though, can't I? Because I can rebuild this. Can I move the window? Move the window, please. Come on, I want to window, move, thank you. If I just rebuild this at the top level, because I've changed the yeah, because I renamed the make file. I make -f there. Okay, so a couple of problems there. Let's have a look at those. 779, sorry. Missed that. And what was the other line? 2520. I redeclared it. Oops, 2520. Okay, we'll get rid of that. And 2518. Build RISC OS. Warning, 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 warning. Error. Strategics. Did I just delete it from one that I unsigned? I wonder if this is getting confused because let's try big here. No, it's okay. All right. So, with that in mind, we're back up here. Build again. I'm in a different file. Is that is that progress? Well, it is progress, yes. Just doesn't feel like it sometimes. Those are going to be failing as well there, aren't they? Oh no, do it like this. Copy, semicolon, paste, and then group them together. It's there. Oops, wrong side. Int ZR. So they prefer ZR, in case you don't know, ARM 64. Register 31 can be one of two things, depending on the type of instruction that's referred to. It can mean either the value 0, it's a constant wired to 0 register, or it can mean the stack pointer. And it depends on the type of use you've got of it. So it does make for some interesting decoding, I guess. RMS as well. I've got another one there, I missed that one. Oh no, I didn't. Brain const just RDSS. I'm not sure what I'm up to. Let's build it and see what happens. Right. Okay. These two. Stop it. And RM as well. No, it's actually a constant. Constant assignments make things easier. They look okay. They look okay. I look like I've already converted them. Let's go do it. It's tempting to have a little palette of commonly used declarations and then copy and paste them rather than jumping around like this. Oh, that looks fun. Okay, oh, it's just the table again. It's another static table in the middle of the code. Don't like having that, but... And because it's a static table, it's not actually required for anything. I can declare it first and then do the check here because it's not dependent on anything. Go. Right, still problems, but better than it was. Oh, a bunch more. Goodie. Copy, semicolon, paste. Hang on, what am I in here? So where was I? I was here. I'm at 2 layers deep. So I can put it here. That's okay. Let's just build that because, again, it's getting messy. When I first saw this, I thought, oh, it looks like there's not the full instruction set present in this, but I think I was rather maligning it by thinking that, because it does look like it's pretty complete. Well, complete as you can be for an instruction set that is quite massive. There's a lot of system operations. These packet things here, as I understand it, and I haven't spent any time with it, they're authentications for the link register. So you can actually do basically protect your returns so that you can't have people introducing return-oriented programming, which is where you try and hack things so it returns back somewhere different to what you were intending, because obviously that's a bad thing. But I haven't spent any time looking at how any of that works. But I've spent a little bit of time actually, but I don't quite understand it well enough to be able to feel comfortable with any of it. You can tell the compiler to generate that code, but I would almost certainly have to do stuff in the early parts of the initialization. I wonder if you'd need it as well for... I don't know how you do it in the OS. I'm assuming you set up something for a particular process, and that then applies across the whole process, but no other process or something. Maybe you need to change the codes for if it's in different domain. I just don't know. Yeah, very confusing. Now this one here and this one here are based on SF, and SF is validated here. So this is actually safe to pick both of these up and put them there, because it's not actually using anything that isn't already being validated. This is that doesn't need to be there. I think that can go because it's again a declaration table. Many of these can become static, and that will make them more useful to us. Sorry, brain's just gone to sleep. I may need to go and have a what's it called, a break and some more drink shortly. Oh, how big's this function? Can I move them all into a? No, I could move them into a block there. I haven't done that on the other ones. I've only done it on one of them. I don't mind. I'll just keep going. There. So I do occasionally think, what would this be like if I was having to do it all in Zap? I mean, I don't know what stronghead's like these days, but I know Zap, and I know it doesn't have a lot of the functions that I commonly use, but it does have a bunch of things that would make things easier. One of the things it does have that I haven't worked out how to use well in Sublime Text is a learn function. So you can get it to learn a particular sequence of operations and then get it to replay them, or you can record it into a key press. So you can go all of these things of like step through, copy to the line above, and like I could have that as being a press F1, press F1, press F1, and it would just repeat them. And that actually would be quite nice, but I haven't spent any time working out how to do that on Sublime. I missed the unsigned one there. I got unsigned it now. Oh dear. Oh no, I'm not doing it to the declaration. I'm typing in the amount. Idiot. So what I'll probably do when I get this finished is I'll go and put some bookmarks in the actual video so that people can skip all the boring bits where I'm just doing this editing. On this rate, it may actually be the entire session, so you may just go, no, don't bother. This isn't a session that's very interesting. How far through? I'm only a third of the way through. Oh, but some. Oh, these aren't doing badly. Oh, all right. We spoke too soon. This is another table that I can move the entirety of, which is good. Unsigned index. There. Index. Yes. D. Ooh, that's a slightly different variable name. Prefer. There we go. Tab completion is really nice, I must admit. Not having that in Zap would probably be one of the things I would get frustrated at. I mean, I do get frustrated at Sublime as well, so don't get me wrong, I'm easily irritated, but I mean, easily irritated anyway, but some of that's it's not doing quite what I'm expecting, rather than it being actually broken. Again, this SF, I believe SF is checked early, isn't it? No, I'm not confident that it is. I'm going to just separate them out. There, those two. Is there, thank you. And Andrew says, never underestimate muscle memory when it comes to programs we like. Yeah, I do find myself still using, oh, that's not right, using some of the commands from Zap. I used to have Command G, no, D, no, I don't know, one of them. Control D or Control G, programmed to be insert header. So in here it does this, so it inserts one of those. That wasn't quite right, but like that anyway. Sorry, like that, it inserts that. I used to have that in Zap, and I found myself regularly using it, so I've actually bound it into Sublime as well, just because like, I keep doing this. Oh, this is better. RM-S and RM-S. Not minus, like underscore. Semicolon on that. And those can go up just a little way now because I've got a brace there. Dum, 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 dum. Implicit cast, that's the registers again. Oh, that's now duplicating the earlier registers. Interesting. Hang on, what? I'm just going to build it and see. I'm losing track of where I'm up to. 64-bit declared but not used. Interesting. Oh, loads more of them. Fortunately, these look all exactly the same. So const char star rd underscore s, const char star m underscore s. Why did I get that indented? Don't know. Use them from here, and then copy those to this block as well. At the end of the block, I've noticed it. That's good, isn't it? Oh, Rn this one is. Oh, Rm is also assigned as well. I want an Rm in there. Implicit cast of pointer to non-equal pointer. Huh. Does that mean I've just converted something wrongly? Show diff. That's a const char star. That's a char star. There we go. Build. I can turn these off. Hide diff junk. Yeah, there we go. Copy and paste isn't always your friend, is it? Well, I try to keep these sessions down to about 3 hours because I think, well, I can do much longer than that, but it's about as much as you can expect other people to want to watch. And we're halfway through now, so this is somewhat dull. Another one of these tables. Oops, I left a semicolon on that. That was stupid. Semicolon goes on that one. Copy, semicolon, paste, oops. Pick up, paste, pick up, paste, copy all of them, all the way up here, build. No, I've just rewritten the same line. Brain is getting dopey. Alan says, I bet I wish I had a C89 compiler right now. Yeah, I really do, but I don't. I spent ages back in 2017-ish. Converting the sources that I've got for the compiler to build and run on macOS, Windows and Linux. And as I did so, there was a lot of changes in there for things, and I not spent any time with it since then because compilers are not my thing. I can do like mechanical stuff with it, but they're not really my thing, so I'm really missing out on that. I mean, I could go and grab a version of the compiler and build that from whatever. Actually, they come to think of it, Rule have released the other ARM compiler, the one that's got the C++ bits in it, allegedly under a permissive license. So it's entirely possible I could take parts of that, but even still, it's it's not something I'm especially keen on doing. I would rather leave that stuff to the people that are actually good at it. There we are. Charles registers. Is this faster than copying and pasting the declarations? Possibly. Another one here. I think I'm going to finish this file and then I'm going to go and have a very short break, and then we'll come back and try the next few. I'm not convinced I'm going to get this done as a completely in this session. I really want to, but dum, dum. Oh, another one to go right at the very top. Right up here. Okay, build. Oop, a bit far. Nice table goes up at the top. Let's do it that way. Unsigned. I'll do them by just reading down the things. So const char star star registers. Const char star instr. Oh, this one. Int sz and int instr ID. Oops, missed a semicolon. La, 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 la. So I could talk about any old random things that are just coming to mind, but it's almost likely going to distract me, isn't it? Build, see what happens. Yeah, that's just going to go up there as well. Another one, rn_s down there as well, but that's inside a brace, so I can do that more easily. Const char star in. But they've got a condes down there as well, I see. That's the last of that. Where are we going? We're going all the way up here, aren't we? Build. Another one there, missed that. It doesn't feel like I've made any progress on this file since I last looked. Oh, they're constants. That's good. Not dependent on anything. That's the last of my tea. Bother. That's handy, they're exactly the same variable. DNMS. Excellent. DMNS. Yes, we can do that again. Oh, nope. There. That's better. RA. Okay. Save, build. Okay, F4. Seriously, I missed one there. That's not too bad. I can just move that one. Unsigned amount. Go. Build. Verb not used. Don't use. Serious error. Missed one there. Just RA. S. And then, are we done? I think we are. Build. Warning, warning. Lots of warnings. And we're in another file. We're in another file that's doing exactly the same thing, but we're in another file. And I said I was going to take a break, didn't I? So let us just very quickly do this function since I'm here. S. How big is it? Oh, this file doesn't look very big. Ooh. Ooh, is it really not that big? How about I do it this way this time? So those can just be removed from there. Because the other ones above there are all constants or copying values, which is good. And these are all constants as well. So that's all good. So that one isn't needed. Those two are. And these ones, SH is assigned up there as well. So that's all good as well. So that's made that a little bit simpler. No, I delete that way, don't I? Implicit mirroring casts, fine. Okay. Oh, but I'm already a third through. Oh, come on. Let's just keep going. Oh no, there's the const jars as well. Copy those. Remove that. Paste them, and then remove the assignments. Oops, no, I did. Oh no, I did paste rather than build. That's why it did it wrong there. Constant. Constants. Those aren't constants there, but that's okay. Actually, those. That's not. Ooh. I'm worried now because I've just seen that that bit goes and replaces things, and I moved the registers up there. Registers. this bit here, can you show diff please? This is wrong. The SZ assignment is wrong because it's based on registers which is assigned after it. So I need this to go down here. SZ equals that. There we go. Right. Hide diff. Reshow diff. Is that right? Yes, that is correct. Good. Yeah. Sorry, I just realised that I made a mistake when I did that earlier. You've got to be careful when you're restructuring these things. You don't make a big pig's ear of it. So this is true again. So this one is safe to move, and this one is safe to move because they're all. Actually, where is SZ coming from? No, it's not. No, it's not. Oh dear. I think. Yeah, it's quite possible that I've made a mistake with some of this as well. That's definitely safe to move. Yeah, I may have been over clever with some of these. I may need to go and check them again. But that's something we can do in a bit. Copy these. Here. And remove the assignments. And then on this one, remove the declaration, the type declarations. Andrew says, trying to do this at speed for a stream is, well, hats off to you, sir. It's like, yeah, it's fine. What's the worst thing that can happen? You can screw it up and then all of the things you've done you have to unpick. Let's hope that that's not the case. Int sz, im type, sorry. Build. Implicit cast, non cast. Good, and we're into another function that's got the same sort of things in it. Right. Registers gets changed there, that's fair enough. Oops, wrong way around. That one is up there. That's definitely constant, but SZ isn't. Oops. Oh, I could have put the shift in there as well at the same time. No matter. Instr ID isn't used by either of those because I can move that down to there, and then that becomes correct. Same goes for this one as well. And we're off again. Oops, deleted the extra R there, didn't mean to do that. And we can lose the ints from these. Oop, looks like I deleted a bit I didn't mean to there. I've got an extra. There we are. Let's better. Build. Similar with this one. You don't need to assign it there, leave it there. Blah blah blah. Another one here. We're about 2/3 of the way through this file. Another one there. SXTB. Yeah. Sign extend to byte. I think that is. Sign it into half word. Sign extend to word. I don't know what a BFC is. BFI. Don't know. Same thing here. BFXIL is the instruction. That's a. The heck with it. ARM64 BFXIL. What the heck is that? E64. Bitfield extract and insert at low end. ARM is no longer a RISC. This is. I mean, I understand why. It means you can move things around quite nicely, but fortunately, David actually spotted this and knew what it was. And these are clever things. Very, very useful if you're doing certain manipulations, but dear. Wonder how much the compiler can actually use these. Looks like a lot of these have got the same problem. That's not a big deal. Oops, no, I meant that. Okay. No, that needs to go down. Build. Oh. Yeah. I don't think that actually did the build then, but I'm not going to worry. Copy those. Oh, paste them. Yeah, okay. Right, I am at the end of this file now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and just finish this off, and then I will take my break. I realise I said that one file ago, but I'm clearly getting myself into a bit of a state with some of these things, and I'm not copying the right bits. I'm liable to make mistakes. So let's just try and get through this. I missed one. Instructions S. Build. What we got? Warning, 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 warning. And then the warnings at the end of the file for things that are not used. Okay. And now I'm in another file. Right. Data processing floating point. That looks like quite a long file. How does this one look? Less long. Armadillo itself. That's got some that are going to cause me problems as well, but short file. Bits, probably just bit manipulation. Yeah, fine. So, we're on this one. Time for a break. Nice and relaxed. Okay, so now I'm 50 minutes, and all I've done is 1, 2, 3 files. Basically, I've got 2 left to do, 2 major ones left to do. Right, we'll see how we get on. Break for maybe 10 minutes, and then I'll come back and I'll do some more. Yeah, this is unfun, but hey ho, it's all going to get things done. Dave says there's a surprising lack of table-driven decoding in these sources. Yeah, the other one that we looked at did have a large amount of table-driven stuff, which was a lot better. But I'm just concerned about the GPL component of it. Whether something you've generated from GPL data tables becomes GPL as well, because to my mind it should. You can't just transform something into another format and then go, well, now it's not covered. That doesn't make sense. But then if it's data rather than code, does that count? I mean, I say it probably ought to, but then on the other hand, you've got many other cases where you've got tables of things that are just like, well, these are the values. This is the definition. There is no other way to express this. Can you put that under a license? If somebody's done some work on it, yes. Anyway, that's an argument for another day, and not one that I can probably answer anyway. So we're going to take a break and be back in about 10 minutes. All right. Bye. Hello peoplings, I'm back. I've got myself drink and pineapple juice, tea and pineapple juice. So a little bit more hydrated to handle the next file. This looks nasty. Hopefully it'll be nice, quick and easy. Yeah, that's not going to happen, is it? Okay, let's get on with it. So, in case anybody has joined us in that time and just hung around because it said it was I was going back to, break time, sorry. Yeah, we're at the point of converting this C99 code into C89, which is somewhat tedious. Feel free to mosey on off somewhere else, and hopefully I'll get something. I want to get something done today that actually I can compile and run on RISC OS. I mean, even if it's just a basic binary, that would be lovely. It may be that we don't get there because this ends up being a lot more work, or that I just end up being tired and not being able to type any longer. But in the meantime, let's do the rest of them. Okay. Const Charles. Oops. Oh, see, cannot type. Do you really want to trust somebody who can't even get letters in the right order? I'm not sure I do. Anyway, yeah, so we're just getting through this process. It's not especially exciting. I guess if I wasn't actually doing this as a live coding, I would have just knocked up some Perl that went and did some of this processing for us. But I suspect that people are even less interested. Well, maybe, I don't know. Actually, now I think about it, maybe it would have been more interesting to see how that was done. But again, it's likely to cause lots of problems because you end up with misconversions and things, and I would spend a lot more time doing that. As you might know, I like building the tools much more than I do writing code. Well, sometimes anyway. That tab, most of these tabs are, I expect they would be better off being static const. Probably be very useful to come at this afterwards and see how much the code is reliant on these tables and whether they're just generating things, because at the moment it's going to be generating pointers to structures, so it's not going to be much in the way of initialization. I don't think. Probably. Oh, I've lost who I am. Const. I spotted some stuff in utils.c looks less than cunning too. Right. Well, other part of this is that I've converted the wrong bit. It's not just me being able to do this. If somebody wanted to have a poke at it after I finished doing a day's session and create a PR for some changes, that'd be awesome, because it would mean that it's not just me understanding how this stuff works. At least that would be useful anyway. Dave suggested he's busy that day. I've started putting together, Dave's just mentioned phase 14, I've started putting together plans for what should be done to convert the modules to C for RISC OS 64. You know, the stuff that the RISC OS Open have been saying they want people to do, but nobody's really doing or had any organization to try and get done. So I've been trying to put together a plan for that, and I've got a number of different phases of the plan. I think 7 phases or something, which are way too small. There's more than that that's going to be needed. But the idea is that breakdown of all of the work is at least started, and people can start looking at stuff. I don't know who would actually be interested in doing some work on 64-bit components. I know that there are people who are doing things. There's like Simon Wilson, there's Paolo, and there's RISC OS in user mode on Linux, which are being done. But those are not really reusable things, as far as I can tell. Merlin's trying to do something quite different. It's trying to be a new operating system, fair enough, that happens to have a personality of RISC OS. And yeah, that's good. The Simon Wilson stuff, the RISC OS kernel in C, isn't actually a kernel in C. It's a set of modifications that allow parts of the system to work, and it's not very complete at the moment. There's a lot to be done still on it, which is understandable because it's not a small task. There is some stuff there, but a lot of it's trying to sort out how this fits together with the rest of the what's it called, the ROM image that they're trying to run with it. Andrew's given me some people I should have a talk to anyway, so I need to go and have a chat to them. Yeah, that's it. Oh, I can use all constants. Could have saved myself a bit of time there. Foolish. There we go. Oh, now there. Size, however, does need to be just made into that. Because if I can get at least a couple of people on board who are trying to do something, then it's possible we might actually get somewhere. At the moment, it's just, as far as I can tell, me doing stuff every now and then and posting stuff up and saying, look, this is what I've done, this is what I've done, and then people going, don't care. Well, if they even respond. Sorry, that's just me moaning, I think. That's another table, another table, another table. Okay, so I've got 3 tables there. Let's just cut those. Leave a new line in there. And put them up here. The other idea that I had with this, sorry, I lost the train of thought there. The other train of thought I have with this is that, yeah, this disassembler might do the job, but it might also be pretty bad. And the idea is that we could just wire in another one in the future, if that would happen to be. What? You've redeclared them. So they're declared there, and then they're redeclared here. I'm just going to change them to be just assignments here. But then this one here, oh no, they're not the same. That's RN, and the other one's RD. Oh, right, pick that up and put them up here because these are all now constants. Those are not constants though, index and index 2. I can just declare those up here. Was it an int? It was an unsigned, wasn't it? Sorry, I'll just get this index and index 2. So Andrew said that it feels like people who have the skills each have their own project and are all different and somewhat tangential. Only Gerph seems to have made any real progress, although that may be unfair to others. Yeah, I don't think I'm the only one who's made progress. I definitely think there are things that are going on, and I know Paolo has made some decent work on that, but I'm not quite sure it fits together. Nanasi's asked, how hard is assembler to learn? Well, it's And where should one start? Oh, it can be very hard to learn. Yes. And the reason it's hard to learn is because it's quite different to how you generally think. Small constrained blocks of things. Personally, I'd say a simpler assembler like ARM, 32-bit rather than 64-bit would be good. RISC 5 is actually quite a good one to start on as well. It has a lot of advanced things, but the basics are not actually too bad. I wouldn't suggest starting with x86 or x64 because that instruction set is insane and filled with a huge amount of legacy, in that many of the things that you try to do, you can do in different ways using different forms of instructions and registers from long ago, like back to DOS days. And that's meant that it's been a lot easier for people to just keep going with it. But unfortunately, it does mean that it's incredibly difficult to learn. ARM 32-bit is actually quite easy, in my view. There's other earlier instruction sets, like you could try Z80 or 6502, but they're a little bit more constrained. You've got more. ARM 32 has 16 registers, so you've got lots of things to play with and you're not feeling constrained. Whereas Z80 has 4, I want to say. David will probably correct me. And 6502 only has 3 registers. And that means that things are quite restricted. You find yourself really having to do a lot of jumping through hoops to get things right. But how would you start to learn it? I don't know these days. Yeah, actually, Dave's made a good suggestion. Compiler Explorer does some nice things if you know C. If you know C or one of the other languages, you could probably use that to try and learn things. It's quite interesting. The other part of it is if you don't know an instruction, if you don't know what something does, you can just go and look it up these days, whereas previously you had to buy many books and things, which was very painful. I hope that does help, Nanasi. See, sometimes we can be helpful as well. It's not just about coding. Actually, one of the things I really do enjoy about the recent jobs that I've had has been being able to mentor people that have been either just starting, their graduates, or that have not worked in the field before. And it's been really fun doing that. One thing I'm trying to look for as I'm looking for a new job. These are quite easy as well. I'm not feeling that I'm making much progress on this file. And it doesn't help if I make distractions like that, but I'm more interested in trying to explain things and get across what's going on rather than just doing the coding. It's one thing that has come up in a few jobs actually, that depending on the level of the engineer you're working with, you might find that people are very keen on code and less keen on concepts and the principles of doing things, and that can sometimes be quite galling. Am I doing that right? Being able to teach somebody how to do something is far more effective a lot of the time than writing some code for them. Index here. Unsigned int. Unsigned int. No, it wasn't unsigned int, it was just unsigned index. Sorry. Being distracted by chatter. Not that people shouldn't chatter, just drawing my eye. Oh, more tables! Well, let's do a build and see what warnings we get out of this. arrangement. I'm assuming this is how the floating point values are being arranged in memory or in registers. That looks like to me 4 half words and 8 half words. I haven't actually spent a lot of time looking at the vector floating point stuff in ARM, which I probably should. It just hasn't come up as much. There's people who know this better, and I definitely can't and shouldn't be telling them how to do it, how things are, because I don't know. Our table. Oh, these were constants. I could have just copied them. Oh, stupid. Yeah, Andrew's just suggested Mike Ginn's Archimedes Assembly Language, which is a very good book actually. I've only read it on the PDF extracted versions. I never had it myself. I didn't have many books when I was learning these things. A lot of the time I learnt my assembler from disassembling bits of RISC OS, and there was a coding thing in Microuser, Acorn User, one of the two. There was a series of what are they called? Articles in over a few months, which had how to do things, and they confused me quite a lot because I may be misremembering. So if I am, I'm very sorry. But they confused me because a lot of the time they were using R12 as the stack pointer, which I later discovered was probably because in the earlier iterations the R12 was the stack pointer, like for what's it called, RISC-X, and so that became a thing that was confusing for me. Ooh, big table. That can go below it because it's just initialization of tables. Oops. About a sixth. Oh, no warnings, no warnings. That's safe to put there. That's not. I thought we were going well there with those long blocks of not having to edit anything. Oh well. Oops, no, that wasn't right. Do another build. So that on there. Oh. Just there. SZ. I think this would benefit a lot from being a table-based system, but Yeah, I couldn't convert it. Very similar to the code I had earlier, isn't it? Const char star. I know there was a ARM course that Dave did at Pixel some years ago to try and give people some feeling for what they should be doing. Some of the engineers there had very whoops. Copy. Bad habits from other systems. Oops. I don't feel this is helping as much as it would have been. There was a particular example, Dave said, say it. There's a particular example that I'm thinking of. I can't remember what it was, but somebody had put a very large loop with a bunch of, was it floating point inside it that was just initializing things to 0 or something? And it's like, I can't remember, it was something stupid. They'd really not thought about what they were doing. And it really wound up a number of people. Myself included, when I found out. No, don't do that. It might have worked well on other systems, other compilers, but no, not on ARM. One of the big things, of course, was that, oh, that's got to go way up high, hasn't it? That's not very nice. Oh, actually, it's only lasting a little while. It's only lasting a little while, this. How about this? There we go. Rather than moving it to the top, we'll just indent the whole lot. There was a file with a do switch at the start, then 4,000 lines of code. Yeah. Not ideal. Although, when I came across the SQLite interpreter, that's it processes its SQL instructions. That is basically one big, or was one big file that had just a switch for every opcode. Horrible thing. Very clever. The SQLite authors are just amazing. Oh, I dribbled me. Drink. Here we go. Here's confession time. For many years, right, I was definitely into my late teens. I believed that having a drinking problem was that you couldn't hit your mouth. And that is entirely because, oh no, don't do that. Entirely because of Airplane. And I felt somewhat stupid afterwards. I'm making comment purely about the fact that I spilt things rather than about anybody that's got a drinking problem or anything like that. It's purely the terminology that I'm making comment about. Please don't be offended. Please. It was not intended. Maybe being overly paranoid now. Unsigned op. And then move the table as well. One of the things that ARM do produce is a bunch of XML that describes their instruction sets and system registers and things. And I used to work with somebody that, that worked on producing that and the documentation for it. I really think it would be a good idea to try and use some of that as part of this process. But I've not looked into it. Oh, I could have just copied it. No matter. Oops, I think I deleted too much there. TA and TB. Probably both of them. Was it part of the formal verification work they did? I think it probably was, yes. Because I think they did it for both the both the ARM and Thumb, and then for 64-bit as well. They're really, really hard to read. I mean, they're just complicated. But if you see in the documentation these days, I don't know if this one actually shows you. No, it doesn't. It's possible this one might. Has this one got it? No. No, I just haven't got it in there. They have like pseudocode that also describes the operations, and I think that was part of the formal verification as well. Just trying to make it a lot easier for people to work with it by defining things in strong and clear ways, and hopefully avoiding many of the oddities that turned up in some of the earlier instruction sets. Oh. This is going to be a pattern, isn't it? A long block of absolutely fine, and then inside. Cut the table. Put the table here. Build. This is more the same. That one can just move to the other side. Those need to be defined though. Another one of the tables. Build. Missed a semicolon. It's been a while since I did that. That's quite good. About a third of the way through. Size can safely be moved up. That's good. Copy it all the way around. No, these can't. That looks like it's already been done by me, but no, it's just because they're assigned at the top, isn't it? Copy and delete those. Oh dear, that was not what I meant. It seems to have suddenly got rather windy here. Those can move up here. D and N. Copy it. Copy. Quite a way up. There's also an unsigned shift. You do tend to get storms more where you are, don't you, Dave? Oh, Scotland way. Right, build that again. Let's see what we're up to. Right, constant. So we've got to put it here, and then we can put these in here. So constant RGS. Why do I do this to myself? Do I hate myself that much? The answer is yes. No, that's not true. Oh, balls. Surprisingly, it is August now, which means that it's just August, then of September, and then a week or so later, I'm getting married, and it's really surprising. Celia and I were talking about it just yesterday, about how close it's become. Just one of those things, moves on quickly. DNS. And now I've got the priest from Princess Bride saying marriage in my head. Is that better or worse than having armadillo in my head? Thank you, Alan. Yes, answer, congratulations. I heard a voice from downstairs. What was that? Ruler? True love, yes, true love. We have actually been looking for films to watch, so maybe Princess Bride is another one we should try. Somebody's pulled up outside with loud music on. Oh, please, can we... This is just a small section. I'm just going to do this. There we go. Just do that. There we go. Dave has also pointed out that I had a very poor accent a moment ago. I was thinking of pointing out that my accents are terrible. Haikudu. Haikudu, that sounds like a haiku. Do. No, that was also bad as well. I can move those below this. Actually, I can move those below all of this. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's using... Oh, okay, fine. I'll just let it get on with it. That's not exactly a static table then. But it's reliant on something that's not going to hurt it doing that, because it will be discarded. Okay, that's not allowed either. So let's. This is the first time I've actually needed to use my brain. This is surprising. Oh, except I don't actually know what the fields are called. I don't know what the fields are called at all. Is it in here? No. Is it in here? iTab? No. Common? iTab. Instr ID. Okay. So, if S I'm sorry, I've forgotten already what they were. Instra S and Instra ID. No, I should structure it. I should structure it in the same way as it's structured the other way around. NMP. Let's just do this. Cut. No. This is nasty limitations of Norcroft. I mean, it's not terrible. Brackets around that bit, not that bit. Make it nice and clear what I'm trying to do. And then we do the same thing with slightly different parameters. Oops. I'm going to take out those commentary. Not doing it. Hello Shiva Singh. Yeah, so summarizing this, if somebody else isn't trying, I'm converting an ARM 64-bit disassembler, so this is an open source project, to be from C99 to C89 because my compiler doesn't support it, and this will eventually produce a disassembler that I can use in the RISC OS operating system, extending the one that already exists. That's the goal right now. However, I'm a little bit into this and it's taken a couple of hours just to get to the point where I've actually got stuff not yet compiled for RISC OS, which is very tedious. And the limitations that I'm hitting at the moment are that the code is C99, not C89, and therefore I'm having to make lots of changes to the code, which is very tedious. It would be a lot easier if I had a converter for this, as David suggested, and I will definitely be looking into that in the next probably week or so, I think. Ooh, nice constants here, I can pull those out. More of these. That's all fine. They've got no side effects, so they can move all the way to the bottom of this table initialization. Build again. Oh, that's another one of those tables. I don't want to do that. It's painful. Oh my lord. Look at that. That's just nasty. Okay. Let's give it a whirl, shall we? Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and change the whole lot in one go. Let's see if we can do that. All the way down to the end of here. Not quite that far. Oh no, I don't want to edit it from the top, I want to edit it from the bottom. Alright. I'll just use the shift key. Alright. Every line in here, please. This is the first part. Cut. No. Paste. And that should be assigned to U0 tab bracket something equals brackets around that, semicolon on the end. Okay, and then this one here, 0, gets assigned to U0 tab. Oh, no, I missed my field name, didn't I? What was the field name? Instra ID for this one. Okay. Put my bracket on the end of that. And the other one is instra underscore s. Okay. Excellent. And then we pick up those. Stop. Oh dear. Apparently I did it wrong. Let's go back. What have we got wrong? Well, have we got the... Yeah, that screwed up. Oh, let's start again. Let's start again because I've done it wrong. I think some of the lines are slightly differently lengths, and that's why it... Yeah, I need to... yeah, okay. Let's go back a bit to there. Let's go right way back to here and use the Alt. Oh no, I've done it wrong again. Okay. This should cut the right thing. U0 underscore tab. Short bracket. Dot instra underscore s equals bracket. That. Semicolon. There we go. That's actually copied it correctly now. And then we do the same for this part. 0. U0 tab. Awesome. Now, copy that lot. Or cut that lot rather. Oh, I still got something wrong in one of them. Bother! Okay, let's just paste it here and I'll fix it up. I don't know how I got that wrong in a couple of them. Oh. Right, put it after this dot here. Right. How did I do this wrong? Not clear. Really not clear how I did that wrong. Let's just have a quick look at the, save that and then just do the diffs on this. Yeah, I think I just didn't quite get the selection of the code right. Not quite sure how I got it wrong, but right. Anyway, so they should all be exactly the same now, so we can fix that. So let's just put that back to null, 0, and we can fix it on all of them, and then fix up the other ones. They're not. There's not that many. It's not such a terrible idea. I can also hide that so I'm not getting myself too confused. So these three here, wasn't it? Q 0. Ooh, I deleted the question mark as well. Same as this one. I do hope there aren't too many of these because I'm still only halfway through this file. Honestly, I might break my rule and actually make this I might fix up all of this code offline and one, sorry, 2, 3, 4, because it's very dull. And I don't really want to be spending next week just tinkering through this code. Although, we can 10 to. Gosh, it's already got quite late. 13, 13, 14, 14. Right. I missed this one here, didn't I? There we go. Right, so that's all the initialization for the first table. Now the second one has got gaps in it, which is going to make things harder. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the whole lot and then can fix it up afterwards. Extra excess comma on the end of that as well. That's odd, isn't it? So indexes 9 and 11 are missing. What I'll do is I'll move those two together and then it will remind me that I just need to skip those when I put in the index numbers. What was this table called? Is it U1? U1 tab, okay. U1 underscore tab bracket question mark dot instructor equals. Now they're all on the screen, it's a lot easier to see where I need to jump to. There, that's done it right. Delete the comma. U1 underscore tab bracket question mark instruct ID equals like that. Excellent. Oops, no, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 10, 10, 12, 12. And now I can fix up this lot. 0.25. 0.0. Done. And then we repeat for the others. And build it. It says there's a mistake there. What have we done there? Oh no, it's happy now. Okay, the slight change to that bit there wasn't quite right. And that one. And that one. Any more that have got braces oddly? Interesting. I apparently didn't fix these up properly. At least it's a systemic problem. I can just fix my fixes mechanically. Expected, so I missed another one. Oh. Yay! Well, both of those are just constants, so they can be initialized up here. And this one is just a tab equals. I've just had an idea actually, just to get myself moving a bit more, which I kind of wish I'd had a little while back, but I'm a bit dim, so I haven't. So the main problem here is that I'm converting it because of the compiler I'm using. So why don't I use a different compiler? I mean, that's pretty blooming obvious, I know, but it would have helped. So what I could do, I'll just finish this function off. I'm about halfway through what I'm saying, so yeah, it's fine. I'll finish this function off and then I'll give it a quick go at building it with 64-bit. And see if that helps, because I'm using the GCC compiler in 64-bit. Where was that? Was that outside? It was outside. Actually, is that just at the end of the function? It's just at the end of the function. I can just lazily do this. The 64-bit compiler is the GCC version, GCC 12. So in theory, we should be able to get somewhere with it. Let's just try that. Come on, can I resize the window, please? Thank you. Right. Do the make again just to prove that we haven't broken anything. Good. Right. Build it with the 64-bit compiler. Off it goes. Come on, pick it up. Point down. Did that work in the slightest? No. No, it did not. In which case, that probably means that there's still problems with how this is automated. I just need to fix it. But RISC OS ammo, 64-bit, please. In the RISC OS directory. Why didn't I do this at the start? I could have made real progress. It's built! Well, wasn't that fun, people? Okay, I'm out of pineapple juice. We're on to the tea again. commit -a. Right. In fact, I need to git status, don't we? We need to just find out what we've actually got here. Git add makefile C and H. RISC OS project creates Git files. That'll get me the ignores in there. Git add $/make POSIX. How do we look now? It should be quite clean. Okay, so this is right. There we go. Commit -a. Initial conversion from C99 to C89. Conversion is not complete. We're part way through the floating point file. Yeah. Okay. Push that to my repo. So now people can see where I'm up to. Since it's now 4 o'clock, this is a good place to be, really. Let us see if we can actually build the example, because that'll actually prove that things are working. I need to create a new makefile, don't I? So we've got a makefile that builds the library. So move makefile to be makefile lib. Actually, I might leave makefile as makefile, and then put the example as a separate one. Oh, except RISC OS project create type C. Is it library command? I can't remember. Help. Command. Name is armadillo. Example. And that gets me the makefile. I should make that tool able to create a different makefile, I think, but I haven't got around to it. Move makefile to be makefile example. And then we just want to have a quick edit of that. Refresh folders. Example, please. Includes. I don't need any special includes. C defines. Don't need special defines. I don't want it to build all of those things. I just want it to build the example. And then to link against C:\armadillo dot o dot lib armadillo. Is that right? Ought to be right, I think. Probably right. Let's have a see whether it actually builds, though. Come on, can I move the... You may have noticed I've got a massive pointer. It doesn't always line up with the actual position of things. Ammo build 64 using the file example. Don't have to build that. That's probably because using the file lib, I didn't do the export. Lib armadillo, lib armadillo. Make the example. Okay, well, that's because it's in the wrong place. That's actually the wrong way of doing it. So, oh, got those around the wrong way. See what happens when I do that. Multiple definition of decode cond, first defined here in example. Ooh. I think that's because interesting. Does that mean that example doesn't need decode cond because it's already in utils? Yeah, it doesn't. That's actually a redundant function. From example, yes. Lots of very long function names it can't patch, but that's okay. pyrodev 64 command af64 dot armadillo example, and dun dun dun, in your own time it crashed. Hey! Well, bother. Wonder what that means. Does that mean that my did it actually break the POSIX version? Because let me just try linking example. Make example. Oh, that's interesting. I'll just redeclare it then, and that'll make it work. Weird. I mean, I'm wondering if example here, because it's duplicating a lot. It looks like it's duplicating a lot of things here. I don't know if it's intending to or not, but oh, that's names of things as well, isn't it? I'll just give it a prototype. And then, oh, wrong side. Sorry, the other side of that conditional. Undefined symbol. Oh, because that hasn't included the library. Why hasn't it included the library? Oh, because I'm using the wrong. Right, does this crash? It does not. So, definitely something broken in the code that I've got. Not sure why, but there's definitely something broken. Interesting, it didn't give me a backtrace either. Let's just give it a see if we can do. I mean, there's not enough. A lot of the functions aren't signatured, so it's going to be a bit of a problem. But let's have a see what we get out of this. Oh, I'm not in the RISC OS directory. Ooh, we died in vprintf, passing a invalid value, I guess. Wonder what? What harder to find out? So these anonymous functions are where it couldn't patch them because the name was too long. It's possible I should actually change that so it can't patch them. It just puts part of the name in there. That might help. Yeah, I might give that a whirl. So yeah, that's where we're up to. Thoughts on data transfer? I thought I'd also made the vprintfs report null instead of trying to print to include something. That's kind of interesting as well. Wonder why that's broken. It may be a bug in the library, which would be cool to find because we found that. Right, so anyway, we've had more than 3 hours, so let's wrap this up, shall we? What have we done today? So let's just wrap it up by making sure things are committed, shall we? So git add makefile star. Let's just update the ignore files. There we go, that's better. And we've updated the library. Right, so updated created the example build target so that we can test the examples tool is working except for is building but crashes when trying to print the output examples in RISC OS 64. RISC OS 32 doesn't even build with Norcroft yet, but that's in progress. So push that. So you'll find this repository as Gerph/armadillo on GitHub. Today, all I've done is converted about 2/3 of Armadillo to be C89 from C99. It's been very tedious, and I really apologise to everybody for how bad it was. But it does build in 64-bit. It doesn't run in 64-bit. There's something going wrong there. Not sure what yet, but I'm going to go investigate that. It's possible it's the library. I'll break my rule and I'll say I will do some things offline. I'll go and convert the rest of Armadillo to be able to work in C89. But I'll try and leave it as just that I'll do, and then next week we can go through the actual integration work. I'll look into the library issue, whether the printf is actually broken. If anybody wants to look at it, it's in the RISC OS 64 clib in GitHub. You can always have a look at that and see whether I've made a mess of it. Most of the printf implementation is my own. I haven't stolen most of it from anywhere, so you'll be able to have a look at that yourself. Yeah, and next week we'll have a see whether we can get a bit further with it. Fingers crossed, we should be able to get a library out of it and able to actually disassemble things. So sorry that hasn't worked out quite as well as I would like, but I think we've done reasonably tediously, but yeah. All right, I will see you all next week, hopefully. And if anyone wants to have a look at what was been done, feel free. If anyone wants to contribute anything towards 64-bit work, drop me a line on the 64-bit forum on the Rule forums, and we'll try and talk about that. All right, see you all later. Bye-bye.